It is very different when you take the money out of your own pocket, I promise you. As someone who's learned the hard way many times, there is no quick buck unless you read it on the internet. But well done for taking the challenge for adopting and adapting, which is going to be crucial for financial success in the future. The objective this morning is to honor those scholars who did outstanding work and to recognize those who won. Without further ado, for the welcome and the opening address, a man who has been at the forefront of Namibian investment since 2013 when he took over as CEO of the NSX. Please welcome Tiaan Bazyn.
Good morning, everyone. Ladies, gentlemen, scholars of all ages, thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's my privilege to honor you here for our annual prize giving for the Namibian Scholars Investment Challenge. The Namibian Stock Exchange has been running this competition for 21 years. The last couple of years, we've had universities also taking place. It used to be only schools, and now we have schools and university competing with each other. That's a very interesting twist we've had this year. Some people have said it's unfair. I don't think it is at all. And I think some of the results will surprise you and probably show my point that it's not unfair at all. I think, first and foremost, the project has always been there as a financial literacy initiative. Education is a political football that often gets thrown around, and people say children learn the life cycle of a grasshopper, but they can't fill in a tax form. So financial literacy in itself is imperative if people are to be taught the skills that they need to do their financial planning for their future and to get to a retirement where they can afford to actually retire, which very few people in this country can. So throughout the competition, the idea is for the institutions to get involved, to get the students to learn something completely out of their comfort zone. This is not a sport match that you can practice for 10 years and then get to play for the first team. Everybody gets thrown in the deep end. Nobody's prepared for this. And hopefully there's a teacher or a lecturer that assists you through the process and gets the children motivated and assists them to find the right information to base their trading on. So conceptually, some of you might know, the idea is everybody starts off with a theoretical amount of money that they invest in the market over a period. And then we see at the end who performed the best, whether that's capital appreciation in the shares or whether it's excuse me, dividends or interest being received. So it's a fairly straightforward concept, but doing that for the period is not easy at all, I guarantee you. And interestingly, I can say that this year we've had some of the best returns that we've ever seen in this competition. So the people really applied their minds, and although, yes, absolutely, that's worth a round of applause. So they certainly applied their minds, and they did exceptionally well. Many of the teams, I must say. We also had the highest number of teams we've ever had. And I must, in that same line, thank our sponsors, especially Old Mutual as headline sponsor that came in a very strong way, was able to publicize the competition more than we've had before, and able to attract more teams participating. And I believe we're going to grow on that substantially. So over the next couple of years, because of the publicity that we've gotten out of this, also with our media partners and future media, I think we're in a position where this competition is going to go from strength to strength, and it's going to grow exponentially. Having mentioned Old Mutual and Nova 103.5, I also want to thank our other sponsors, being Nasia, Simni Storm Securities, and the Financial Literacy Initiative, who also, together with the International Association of Students in Economic and Commercial Services, have assisted us in this project for many, many years. So with that, I think, without going into more details, I think I want to probably stop there. I'll leave the rest for when we do the actual prize giving. So again, thank you very much for attending this morning. I hope you find it useful, and let's give our sponsors a round of applause and welcome them on. Thank you.
Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Tiaan Bazyn, a man known for his financial acumen and incredible hair choices. Well done. I just would remind you all, this is being live streamed at the moment, so you are now international. When you come up here to receive your award, a worldwide audience is watching you and will start backing your choices on the stock exchange in the future. We'll now give an opportunity for each of the sponsors to come up and share their thoughts on what has been a very successful program. And we'll start with Jason Halonga, the CEO of Namibia Savings and Investment Association.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. Good morning, everyone, scholars. I actually got concerned when Tian came up and took out an entire speech. I thought there wasn't going to be anything left for me to say. So thanks, Tian, for cutting that short. So just for background, NASIA is an industry body made up of the country's largest asset managers, insurance companies, linked investment service providers, and unit trust. Now, one of our mission is to ensure that the savings and investments industry remains relevant and sustainable into the future, not only for NASIA members, but also for the entire economy. Now, how do we intend to achieve that? So one of our strategic objectives is to actively get involved in education, transformation, and social development activities aimed at promoting and creating a culture of savings and investments in Namibia. And the NSX Scholars Investment Challenge is exactly that. It's a perfect fit. And we intend, our intention is that getting involved in the NSX Scholars Investment Challenge really then meets one of those strategic objectives of creating this culture of savings and investments in Namibia. And this is very important because, one, it addresses the issue of inequality, it creates wealth, shared prosperity, but most importantly, it also creates a globally competitive financial services sector in Namibia, and obviously deepens our capital markets. So we are very happy to be part of this challenge. And all I want to say to the scholars is that I hope your involvement in this challenge over the past few months has ignited a fire in you to champion this culture of savings and investment, and not only for the country, but first of all, it starts with you personally, in your personal life, like Tian mentioned. We all want to be able to retire in the future, and then that extends to your family, and obviously for the country. So well done to be here, to have made it this far, and congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. My role today is twofold. I only get paid for the one. Mayor Paulina, who looks after our building, gave me some lessons yesterday. The trick is to wipe deeply, apparently. Our next speaker is from Simona Storm Securities, the MD of that company, Bruce Hansen. Welcome, Bruce.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. I look at the list of the speakers, and Jason, I thought that you will also steal my thunder and what you were saying. It's always difficult to follow afterwards. So good morning, everybody. And Simona Storm is honored to have been part of the Namibian Scholars Investment Challenge 2021. It was an initiative introduced by the Namibian Stock Exchange, the NSX, and this competition has been running for quite a while now. So Tian, I think we probably have to, now that the university is also involved, we probably have to call it Namibia Scholars and Students. Because I remember my English teacher saying that, if you're at school, you are a scholar. And once you go to tertiary institutions, you become a student. I don't know whether that still holds true. So as a company, Simona Storm would like to express its gratitude to the NSX for doing this, having this initiative, plowing back into the future of our youth, and we certainly bank upon it that this initiative will continue for the foreseeable future. So I think Tian has mentioned that this is something that will continue into the future. Now, Simona Storm highly values the equipping, the empowering, and the training of the Namibian people, especially the youth. We currently have 8 students we are supporting at different tertiary institutions. And as many of you know, we are a stockbroker. We've been in Namibia for the last 25 years, a stockbroker and a wealth manager. So those people that are taking part, the scholars and students that have participated, you can follow a career in stockbroking. You can become a dealer, you become, a trader. So whatever you've done today, it's something that is not, it's practical. It's not something that is theoretical. And I also want to acknowledge the other sponsors for investing in this initiative. And to the participants, well done for finishing the race. It's not always easy. This requires determination, sacrifice, focus, and creativity. And that is similarly what life requires of us. So I take it that you have also taken on board some of the life lessons while you were in this process. It's very easy to start, but it's a daily slog. There's a daily work, and most people get discouraged and distracted, and they give up. But you, on the other hand, you've worked diligently, and so well done to you. Dr. Edwin Louis Cole reflected that knowledge is the acquiring of facts, understanding is the interpreting of the facts, and wisdom is the application thereof. And you have been wise, you have applied your knowledge, you have gone above the theoretical to the application part. Now that is real hard work, and it's also true work. So many people do not realize the benefit of understanding the share market. For instance, you do not have to work in a specific sector, especially a sector that does wonderfully well. If there's a company in that sector and it's a listed company, you just buy the share and you automatically participate in the success thereof. Now you must remember, it could be a successful company, but it could also be not such a successful company. But the fact that you can invest in that company without working at that company or in that sector, that already is an advantage. And so with this in mind, it means that the share market allows you to participate in the economy, but more so in the wealth of that economy. And with this in mind, I encourage you to please sign up next year to ensure that you cement what you have learned this year. Also spread the message to your fellow students and scholars, so we build up a nation that understands investing, but more so that understands wealth creation. So congratulations to all the winners, and for the others, winners are not those who never fail, but those who never quit. So keep on keeping at it. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Thanks too for the English lesson. I just have a corollary. My dad told me as I left school, he said, when you're at school, you are a scholar. And the moment you leave for university, you become apparently an expert in everything. Now, financial literacy is an incredibly important part of our modern lifestyle. And to speak from an institution that takes that challenge very seriously, Financial Literacy Initiative, the Chief Economist, Ielu Alonga.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ielu Alonga from Financial Literacy Initiative, as it was introduced. I'm here on the ticket of FLI. I would like to give an introduction to what FLI, Financial Literacy Initiative, is, because we are at times not aware of what other institutions are all about. The FLI is a national platform to enhance education for individuals and micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. The initiative was initiated by Ministry of Finance and several platform supporters on the 15th of March 2012. We are delighted to have formed partnership with NSX, which created an exciting platform that is giving real-life experience about capital market. The world has evolved towards investment opportunities with consistent growth result. Hence, capital market is one of the conduits to wealth creation. Certainly, the knowledge acquired during the trading process will be replicated for future capital market participation, which aligns to FLI financial education outcomes. We are looking forward to a more inclusive exercise for wide reach in the society. And therefore, we'd like to thank our platform supporters that joined the partnership. And we would like to congratulate the winning teams. I thank you.
Thank you, Yellow. And then my responsibility to speak on behalf of Future Media and our broadcast sponsor, Nova 1035. Nova 1035 was launched early last year and is now only about 19 months old as a radio station, and is already in this space of just under 2 years achieved quite wonderful results in terms of both audience and results for many of our advertisers as well. We're very honored to be a part of the Namibian Scholars Investment Challenge in 2021, and my thanks to Joanne and for Old Mutual for allowing us at quite late notice to come on board. But we felt at the time that a media sponsor is an essential part of any long-term strategic play like this, where we're looking to reach youth, and we're looking to leverage those sponsorships into the business community. Now, Nova 1035 is clearly not aimed at the youth, as any of you who've tuned in would know. It's aimed at the old toppies like me, who unfortunately still have the wallets in their back pockets, and we try and get them to get their wallets out and make sure that they're investing it back into education and development. Next year, we'd obviously like to take the opportunity to talk to the NSX and to Old Mutual about how we expand that sponsorship a little bit, and perhaps bring in one or two of our youth brands as well to expand that. But we are very appreciative for the involvement, and it is very heartening to see the uptake and that the youth are interested and involved in the financial markets and are interested in how these markets work, because it is ultimately you guys, when we're old and grey and sitting on the stoop and complaining about how nothing's like it was when we were young, it'll be you guys who are in charge, and we hope that you will be making great decisions for our grandchildren. So on behalf of Future Media, I'd just like to give you an opportunity to say congratulations to everyone who took part. I echo the thoughts of those of you who stuck it out. A competition like this requires commitment, as does studying. You have to do your tests, you can't just skip them, and you have to do your trades. You don't get to just skip them as well. So all of you managed to follow the rules of the competition and get through to the end, and just by doing that made yourselves winners as well. So thank you for that, and thank you to the NSX. It's my pleasure now to ask, thanks Jason, I appreciate the applause. I must say in radio we're not used to applause. We stop speaking and then we hope they're laughing and we play a song. And if they're not, we never know about it. It's brilliant. It's my pleasure to call up Lizette Kavari, the president of Asec Namibia. We can applaud, Lizette.
Good morning. I am Lizette Kavari from Asec Namibia. And we're very proud to be part of this competition, especially in a society where the youth is starting to feel like our elders are not our mentors. And I think it's very important that we do look at perspective and teach people how to look at things differently, especially our elders and the youth, to close that gap. Perspective is very important because then you're able to look at problems in different areas and be solution orientated. And I think this competition is a step forward in this direction, as it is a platform that allows practical experience, knowledge exchange, and skill exchange. So I would like to congratulate all the winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Lizette. Allow me to call up Ndangi. That's Ndangi Katama, the Executive Marketing, Communication, and Customer Strategy Manager for Old Mutual. Ndangi has promised to give us a little song to start out with, just to break the ice. No, just kidding, Ndangi.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. May I start with the national anthem? Well, for us at Old Mutual, we are super excited that we have decided, and firmly so, to be the headline sponsor of the Namibia Scholar Investment Challenge. And we have done that consciously because as a responsible business, we believe that financial education is very key, but most importantly, it's very important to provide opportunity to young people to be able to do the kind of thing that they've done and really create a new generation of technologically savvy investor that we are seeing today. But my job here is not to make a speech. I want just to introduce my group CEO, who is going to give the keynote address. And is the man who does not like long introduction because he prefers to be called Tassius, or TC in short. But is a man with a wealth of experience in the various economies in Europe, in Africa. He doesn't like me to say this, but I will say it for you only. He's a chartered financial analyst with many, many years of experience. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tassius Chigariro to the podium.
Thank you very much, Ndagi. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a firefighter, a soldier, and the kids of today want to be investment traders. The worlds have changed a lot. And another thing I wanted to become was a teacher. So I'm not going to waste this opportunity and not enjoy being one for a moment. Good morning, children. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to be up here this morning, and I am really excited. And this is a special time for me and a special moment for me in particular. Jason and Bruce talked about coming last is not easy. And, but for me, it's going to be easy because I'm just going to share my personal story. And you may like it, you may not, but I will just share my personal story. Before I get too far, let me establish myself on this podium on the protocol already observed. The gentleman ahead of me here and the people that have organized this, thank you very much. I wrote my speech late this evening, busy time in the boards, and I don't like reading my speeches, but I will be doing a little bit of reading of it. I was thinking about these children this morning, in the early hours of this morning, thinking, what am I going to say to them? You know, I used to be a kid from humble beginnings. I used to be a kid that came from a place where I never thought I would go anywhere special. That kid still lives right inside me. And I have to do a reality check once in a while to check that, are they referring to me when they say group CEO, or is somebody else? Because it still hasn't even sunk in that I am that kid that had nothing before. And today they are calling me group CEO. It is a special moment for me. I'm very thankful to Old Mutual, the organization, for discovering me. Because it is Old Mutual that found me, for me to be standing here as their group CEO today. In my country of birth, Old Mutual runs a lot of competitions at high school to try and identify the best kids. That's why Old Mutual is a name that is a household name. You will not walk into any house and they don't know about Old Mutual. Our role as Old Mutual is not limited to helping your parents manage their finances in life, after death, or even for their savings. But our role extends to even helping their children, which is why we are talking to you today, and which is why we are here this morning. This is why earlier this year, and to be specific, on Wednesday, the 12th of May, 2021, Old Mutual signed a 3-year partnership with Namibia Stock Exchange to train the Namibian youth on capital markets trading, with a sponsorship of 200,000 Namibian dollars every year, supporting Namibian scholars to be able to know how to trade on the stock exchange. And we will make this commitment for the next 3 years, and I believe even beyond. In my days as a high school kid, participating in Old Mutual competitions was a fantastic challenge and absolute great fun with it. And all the high school kids of my generation absolutely enjoyed it. Old Mutual connected all the talented kids in the country for a common competition and a common goal. But it didn't just stop there. We go on to do Pan-African competitions so that our kids are not just exposed to the kids in their classrooms. We expose them to the other kids in the country. After that, we expose them to the other kids in the world. And as Old Mutual, these Pan-African competitions are very important for us because borders are now porous. You still need a visa to cross the border, but ideas don't need visas. Technology doesn't need visas. Knowledge doesn't need visas anymore. So hopefully what we have instilled in you during this session is going to touch the world that is bigger than you ever imagined. Young people are very special. They have a special credential which you cannot find in middle-aged citizens like myself. This is because young people do not know enough to be scared. Young people do not know enough to be prudent. They attempt the impossible. And in most often they achieve it. And this has been proven generation after generations. So I urge you to continue. Don't let our prudence stop you. Old Mutual gave me an opportunity to discover my talent. There are many young people that have perished without discovering their own talent. And we don't want that at Old Mutual. Others have had to discover their talent at very old age, like Sanders, the KFC man, Kentucky Fried Chicken, being only discovered after he had retired. Old Mutual spends its money in helping children today to discover their talent during prime time. The best gift a child can have is to help them discover their talent before it's too late. And I'm hoping today we are going to do that. Discovering your talent is not enough in itself. There are many people that have discovered their talents, but it did not produce fruit. When talent is discovered, it is like discovering a fertile seed. If you don't put it in good soil and water it, it is going to die. But at Old Mutual, we discover talent and we nurture it. The top kids in here, if others don't want you, we want you because we want to nurture you. The talents that have been discovered today, I urge the parents that are listening, I urge the communities and the other companies that are here, that let's nurture this. We need this in Namibia. And to you, the young girls, the young boys, remember what they say. Never tell a young person that it cannot be done, because a young person is daring. And I say to you, keep daring. After Old Mutual discovered me, daring as I was, believing I'm the next best thing after discovery of the light bulb, I took an adventure into Europe. And with my talent in my palm, that's all I had. Now that I was in this developed world, surrounded by what seems like advanced minds, but this African kid never stopped daring. Within 3 years of my time in Europe, the African kid discovered things that other people there had not discovered. Sometimes the mature generations do not listen to young people. They want to tie the young people down and say, we have seen it all. Just calm down. Your story is going nowhere. They've walked this journey before, they tell you. You are supposed to just calm down and do it their way. And I say to you young people, respect these old people, yes. Calm down for a moment, yes. But only for a moment. And after 5 p.m., go back home and get your discovery mode back on. One day I say to my boss while in Europe, let me show you something that I discovered on my computer. Within a few months, my idea had many fathers. They say success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. And by my 6th year in Europe, we successfully launched the first liability-driven investment solution in the UK. And I say to you kids, never stop daring. As the community celebrated my success back in Africa, Old Mutual remembered, that one is our kid, getting back home, back to the continent of milk and honey. And there I was, buzzing with confidence, walking back home, saying, I've conquered Europe, now let me go back to my continent. In South Africa, we started the same products, launched liability-driven investments, launched absolute return investments. I thought I had left a world, an international world, of better investment strategies and opportunities, only to discover to my surprise that I was even more successful back in my African continent than I was in Europe. I stand here as a former actuary that got bored of being an actuary. And yes, I'm qualified, but I got bored of it and said, let me become a CFA charter holder, and ventured into investment, into an investment career that lasted for more than a decade until age caught up with me and my priorities changed. My focus has changed. I've conquered the world in a different way, and now I want to conquer it in a different way, called leadership, and help another child achieve the same dream like I achieved my own. Many that see me think it was easy. Many that see me think I succeeded because I was smart. I was born intelligent. They couldn't be so wrong. They couldn't be so incorrect. I have failed many times. I have failed to succeed many times. Many times I tried it to work and it didn't work. But I never stopped trying. And I think Bruce said it earlier, that never stop trying, never quit. Old Mutual told me I was talented. And I held on to that all my life. No one could take that away from me. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. What a wonderful quote from Vince Lombardi. And I believe in it so much. As I conclude, today we are going to recognize some winners, those that never quit. Today, Old Mutual is telling you that you are talented. Hold on to it. Hold on to that asset. Don't let the hurdles of life, the failures of life, come for you to think otherwise. To the quitters that are listening, wherever you are observing us from, put your hands together for the non-quitters. And I'm hoping to have no hands, because I don't want anyone to be a quitter. I expect no clapping, therefore. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my story with Old Mutual. I wasn't born the group CEO of Old Mutual. I was just a kid from parents that didn't work, but Old Mutual discovered me. So for you today, you have been discovered. Don't make any more excuses. Don't make any more excuses. If you fail, it's because you quit. But I would like to see you succeed. And I hope one day, among yourself, there will be the group CEO of Old Mutual. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And boys and girls.
Wow, Tertius, thank you. Powerful words, and I hope you guys are listening. Now an opportunity to move on to the part of the program where we go to prize giving, and I'd call on Tian to come up and handle that part of it.
Thank you very much. So as I said, I'll be back to talk about the prizes. That's certainly what some of you came for, I'm sure. I just want to mention a couple of things. Cassius, a proud CFA charter holder. Many people aren't aware that as part of our initiative to support high-level management and training in Namibia, over the last couple of years, we've spent more than $1 million in sponsorships for CFA trainees, with the intention to grow the base of knowledge within this country. CFAs are useful for more than just being asset managers and stockbrokers and the likes. They're useful in analysis in various forms, and especially statistical analysis, which we need desperately. Before I get to the prizes, I want to give a special thank you to Mrs. Jane Saul. She's our Chief Information Officer at the NSX. She runs this competition. I get to look in every now and again to see that everything's running smoothly, and it does because of her. And thank you very much, and a big round of applause. Thank you. Then, just for those that might not be aware, the prizes are obviously substantial this year. Thanks again for the sponsors. First prize being $50,000, second prize being $30,000, third $20,000, fourth $10,000, and the fifth prize is $5,000. There is, however, a split within that prize. 20% goes to the school or the institution, and 80% goes to the members themselves. Hopefully that in itself will be an incentive for the institutions to bring more teams and to assist them in this process. Again, it cannot happen with teams alone. It needs guidance, it needs nurturing, as with most SMEs, as with most businesses. And that's what we need to do. We need to reach out and help people to grow. So having said all of that, I think the most important part is to get us to the prizes. And I'll start from fifth on. In the fifth place, we have from UNAM, with a return of 8.8%, NAM Wealth. Congratulations. Now try it without the masks. The regulations have been relaxed. I think you can take off the masks. Okay, put them back on. Then in the fourth prize, also from UNAM, Edu United, with a return of 10%. Well done. All right. Then for the third prize, again, UNAM with Trading Masters. Stand there in front. Which then takes us to the second prize, again, UNAM Eagle Investors, with a return of 23.3%. Well done, ladies. Well done, ladies. Which leaves us with one team. A certain gentleman at the back has a very big smile on his face because he's figured it out. The first prize goes to Windhoek Gymnasium, with a return of 30.8%. Well done. That is exceptional. So I just want to mention that's the highest percentage return we've had in a decade. And while the index itself, for the corresponding period, the index that tracks the market for the corresponding period went up by less than 0.5%. These guys were trading almost every day, and they certainly must have put in the effort because that is exceptional. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tiana. If you can create crops out of those grounds, perhaps agriculture is a place you can go. Fine. Well done to all the winners. Can we get another round of applause for everyone who came up today? And now time to give some thanks, as it is always appropriate towards the end of a program like this. And to do that, please welcome the lady who puts it all together, who makes it happen, Johin Saul, the CIO from the NSX.
Good morning, a warm and graceful morning to you all. It is my privilege and gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to this event. On behalf of the NSX, I would like to thank our keynote speaker, Mr. Tashes, for honoring us at this function and your inspirational thoughts. We had an opportunity today to hear your thoughts, and surely it encouraged us, and we will build or keep this in future events. Thank you. A competition such as this would not be possible without committed and caring partners. The sponsors have been sure that the competition maintains its attraction and prestige by providing financial and other assistance. Without you, the competition would not have been a success. We want to extend our thanks to our sponsors, Old Mutual, for the generous sponsorship, Nova, Future Media, for all the interviews that you've done with us, and for availing the space and hosting us today, and a special thanks to Mr. Guri being our MC. Thank you to Nasia, Simony Storm, FLI for the cash contributions, to the school principals, coordinators, and parents for allowing the students to take part in this competition, the students for their participation and making time to trade, and to the NSX board members for their strategic leadership. Thank you to my CEO, Tian Bazain, for his guidance. And last but not least, the audience for making this function a grand success. I would like to acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard throughout the competition with the registration process of teams, all the ideas that has been shared, the hard work in organizing this event and making the celebration happen. We appreciate all you have done and look forward to continuing our relationship well into the future. Finally, a warm thank you to all the teams that participated in 2021 and to the prize winners for their impressive performances. Your days of hard work were very evident in the trading stats and kept the NSX busy in calculating your portfolio returns. As this is an annual event, we are looking forward to your entries for the year 2022. I thank you.
Well done. That brings us to the end of the prize giving for the Namibia Scholars Investment Challenge. I echo Johin's vote of thanks to all the sponsors, to the guys who took part, to those who wound up champions. Congratulations. And to Tian and his team at the NSX for having the vision to understand that it takes education to create long-term sustainability. So well done to the team at the NSX as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time this morning. There are some snacks. I know that at university I certainly just went to functions to have snacks. So get stuck in, guys, because if you don't, we'll eat it later. Please enjoy the morning with us, and thanks to everyone for their participation. Next year we'll be back bigger and better. Sorry guys, for everyone who won, there are individual trophies, and Tian will sort that out for you.